What's up, YouTube fans? Today we're going to take a look at the Flame Toys Kuro Kuri Ultra Magnus. So this is the larger size from Flame Toys, not a model kit, and I got this from Grant Z. Thanks for allowing me to take a look at your copy. He's been sending me the Flame Toys stuff recently. I was very excited to take a look at this because it is just absolutely gorgeous. And I just did an unboxing for it, and once I unboxed it, man, this thing does a ton. It really has a ton of playability, ton of features. We'll go over it, but first, let's just take a look up close. One thing that I just want to mention is the eyes are painted metallic blue, but in my lights, for whatever reason, they look silver a lot. So as we're going through this review, just note that the eyes are definitely metallic blue. They're not silver. Just due to the reflection of my lighting. But you got dark metallic blues, lighter royal blues, silvers, gunmetals, golds. You got translucent parts, red down here, metallic red. You got a darker and lighter red for the legs and the hip skirts. Here's the back. All that detail you've come to expect with Flame Toys. I mean, everything is detailed all over the place. It just looks incredible. And before we get into all of the accessories and armor, let's go over the articulation. He's got a lot going on. Most of it is well tolerance. There's a couple spots, I'll point them out, that are a little too tight. Head is on a ball joint, so it gets up to there, down to there. The neck itself is on a ball joint, so you combine them together, you can get all the way down and all the way back, side to side, and it rotates around. It's really, quite articulated. Pretty much any angle you'd want. For the shoulders, you can open up these panels. In the book it says you can open these up, but you have to actually push this in order to get these up a little bit more. You can't get them all the way up, so just be careful. Don't do what it says in the book. You can't rip these all the way up. But you can rotate this shoulder pad on its own. These, if you pull this out, lift the shoulder up, you can lift the arm up to there. We can, of course, rotate the arm around with the shoulder pad all the way around. That's a nice tolerance. Rotation at the bicep, we can just get this out of the way a little bit, but rotation at the bicep. We have a double jointed elbow on a die cast hinge. Gets you all the way. Nice die-cast piece in there. And a good-looking elbow all together. For the hands, the wrist itself is articulated, so it's on a ball joint. It goes up and down, in and out, and pretty much any angle. And then the hand itself is on a rotation on a peg. These hands are fully articulated. I'm not sure why we haven't gotten this before from Flame Toys. Usually we get replaceable hands. They should never do that again. This is the way to go. They really nailed it on these. So they have a ball joint at the base, 2 pins. So you get all that movement. Thumb is on a ball joint and 2 pins. So you can rotate around. I mean, they're very well done hands. I think this should be the standard from now on for Flames Toys. The tolerances on the fingers are also nice and tight. So you don't get those, dangly fingers. So yeah, like I mentioned, I think everything from now on should be these kinds of hands from Flame Toys. All right, continuing down, actually I'll leave this arm out of the way. We have 2 hinges for the ab crunch. You can get all the way down to there. I'll show you from the back. It does end up exposing his back here, and you got a spine down here. We do have a side-to-side movement on that middle joint. I'm going to show you from the front. And then we have a rotation down here at the lower abs. It rotates up to there. I don't think it gets any more. I'm not sure what's holding it up. Just getting it just out of the way, but that's about as far as it can get. I'm not going to push it. Something holds it up at that point. And getting it recentered sometimes is a little tricky. Going to the waist, you have a waist hip skirt that is on a spring-loaded piece, and then the hip skirt itself can rotate up. It can actually rotate up all the way. You can see the painted surface on the inside, and also can go in and out. So if you lift that up, come inside, lift this one up, come to the back, and lift that one up, you can get some space to move the leg. This leg joint is very tight. I recommend holding down here on the die cast and then holding up here to get a grip. Otherwise, it's really hard to rotate that leg joint. It's a very tight ratchet, die cast into die cast, so that's maybe the reason why. But back to there, it doesn't go further than that. I don't want to push it. Oh, actually, it does go a little further. Okay, so I got it back to there. And this chest plate does come off, so if you knock it off, just pick it back on. And then out to the side on a hinge, very heavy. There's a lot of die casting here, so this is a nicely tolerance joint that holds all that weight. I think a lot of companies could learn from Flame Toys on how they do that. Rotation at the hip on a cut joint, but that looks really good. It's well done. For the knee, you have a double jointed knee. The knee pad itself moves with the leg, so you'll see this go into here. I'll just do it together as a one smooth motion. Very cool. Love how that looks and how it works. Get the leg back down. Like I mentioned, those hip joints are very, very tight. So just be cautious with that. And then coming down to the feet, you have ankle tilts, both directions, forward and backward. You have a toe tilt here. There's a panel back here that will move out of the way to allow the foot to go back to there. Rotation at the foot. So really nice movement there on the feet. And again, before we get to the accessories, there's a ton of built-in gimmicks on this guy. So let's take a look at that. First of all, we've got light up features throughout. If we pop the head off, it's on a ball joint. You can come to the back here. There's a battery compartment there. There's a screw that you have to remove. I've already removed the battery protector. I'm going to put these all back before I ship this back to Grant. But for shipping purposes, they have these little battery blockers that prevent it from, turning on and shipping. That's a smart thing to do. But they give you the batteries, which is great, because I was definitely not going to put the batteries in. So there's a switch right here on the top. Press the switch, you get the light up, beautiful light up eyes. It's just a great head sculpt in general, but then with the eyes lit up, that looks great. So I'll leave that on. We also get light up knees. So I come to here, and if you come to the back here, we can open up this panel. And again, we've got the little pull tab. So pull the tab, and then you don't need to take the screw out because, like I said, the battery's already in there. So just replace the panel, and then press this button, and now you get the light up knee. And we'll do the same thing over here. All right, and then next we'll take care of the backpack. So I'll come to here, and if you lift up, let me just straighten this out. If you lift up on the ab crunch, you'll see this tab right here. So pull that one out. And bring that back down. And then we can turn on the chest. The button's right here. It ends up looking like eyes in the chest. There it is with the lights off. That's killer. That's really, really good looking. All right, and one more gimmick we get is his flip out visor or screen. So if you pull forward on his shoulder blade, flip this up, flip out this translucent orange piece. Then you're going to rotate it to the side and bring it down. You have this, which is really cool. You can make it into a full screen. I just wanted to show you can't have a half. But if you bring this one out, same thing. Lift this up, fold this out, rotate it around. And you're going to push this one back in. And I have to remember which way it goes. Does it go this way? There you go. And now you've got this screen. And if you combine that with the light up eyes, which will turn on, so cool. Like, never seen that on an Ultra Magnus or on really any figure, right? Just a cool little gimmick. All right, now we'll take a look at the accessories. So I'm going to start by looking at the G1-ish accessories. First off, we get these shoulder missiles, which we're used to seeing. These will attach. I mean, you can actually attach them anywhere, but I'm going to put them where we think they go, which is right here on the side of the shoulder. So you can lift up on this. I guess just hold this with your finger and then get that inserted in there, and then you can adjust it. All right, so same on this side. Obviously, you get two of them. And that definitely adds to the iconic look. I'm glad that they included that option. Not sure if that appeared in IDW, but it's great that they have it. And then the other thing that he would have, which is, again, somewhat stylized, is his blaster. They've put the ammo clip on the top, so it's kind of like futuristic or whatever. It does look cool. Yeah. So this will... This will go in the hand. If you open up the hand here, nice tab slot, the pointer finger will go through this trigger guard. So just get that lined up. And then the other fingers will go underneath. And get that tabbed in. And then close the fingers around. And yes, very, very good looking blaster. And that's basically the G1 look, if you want it. But we've got plenty more accessories to go. I just wanted to show you, if you wanted to have it like this for your collection, I think it would work. But let's keep going. We've got these two panels, and these will mount under the arms. And I'll just show you, there's a little slot right on the back of the arms. So you have that look. And I'll put one on this side as well. And you want it with the thinner part on the inside. And let's just take this gun out for now, because we're going to install some other accessories that'll start getting in the way. We also get his shoulder pylons, which I think are definitely, you know, controversial. I don't think everybody likes the look of these, but this has a little peg. It'll tab into the top of the shoulder, and it gives him this look, which I think is more iconic for IDW. But if you're a G1er, I think you might not like this. However, there's options. So you can bend this forward. All right, and these also have a light up feature. So if you pull forward on this and you rotate this lower panel back, that will turn the lights on. Rotate it again, that'll turn it off. So you don't have to leave them on if you don't want to, but look at that. That's very, very cool. And of course we could do the same thing here. Rotate down, extend. And this one I haven't removed the tab, so it's not going to turn on, but like, that's just such a cool looking option. But wait, there's more. So we do have some other little weapons. We've got these, which I think are missile pods. They don't actually open up. I thought maybe like this would come off and you'd see missiles inside or something. But they don't. Like at first I was like, oh, maybe I just can't get it out, but these will attach right here. So you come to the side of the legs and you can attach these here and here. And we got two more of those, which will attach to the hip skirt. So there's a little slot on the side of the hip skirt. And you can plug it in here. It is starting to get ridiculous. I would agree. There's a lot. Then we can come to the back. And you'll see there's some slots here in the backpack. And that is for his backpack. So he gets kind of a jetpack style thing. It's painted beautifully, gold, silverish blue, a darker blue. This will plug in right here, then 3 spots. It's a pretty firm fit. I find it a little challenging to get on there, but give it a firm push. Make sure it's actually attached. Then we can bring in these, which these also have a lot of features. But first, we're going to open up. Actually, you can just mount it like this if you want. You just have them plugged in, sitting right there, and right there. And that's one option for display. But there's more, of course. You can extend out on this. We can fold this up. I'm going to rotate this forward a little bit. And of course, this has its own light up feature. So if we come to right here, open up this little panel, you see there's another little plastic tab. You can pull that out. And then again, we don't need to take out the battery compartment screw because it comes with batteries, which is one of the nicest things I like about Flame Toys. But then you're going to open up this handle right here on the bottom. And if we get the hand up and bring this up into the front, that handle should fit right through that slot in this armor piece. So you're going to have to bring it in front and then bring it back. But that will tab in just like it did with the gun. Just tab into the hand. And it's a little tricky to get this one in just because, you know, it's attached on the back. We can get that in there, get that around there, and now you've got this. All right, to turn that on, we're going to slide forward on this button right here. And look at that. You get red lights here, here, and here. Actually, it's just a button, but man, oh man, is that cool. Like, that's just incredible. And I'll get the other one on there just so you can see the full effect. All right, and there it is, fully armored up with both of those cannons. That's just so cool. Such a cool effect. But we do have one more accessory, which is the stand. And you can extend this up. You can lock it in place with this tab. And then we can come to the back here. You'll see there's a little groove on the back of the crotch plate. That'll plug in right there. And I find this a little... It doesn't feel like it's going to hold. I'm a little worried about this. You know, the strength of this or the quality of this. It does work. It just... I'm worried about the weight. But it does work. You can get them up on there and displayed. And for quick size comparison, there it is next to the Fans Toys version of Ultra Magnus. And a lot of people ask me, you know, can this guy be used in a Masterpiece collection? I'm not sure why you would, because he's just so stylized. But no, not really. He's too small. He goes to about 9 inches to the top of his head, maybe a little over 9 to the ears. Obviously to these boosters, even more. But yeah, he's not really sized to be in a Masterpiece collection. So final recommendations on the Flame Toys Kuri Ultra Magnus. This is a phenomenal figure from Flame Toys. I'm going to give this a 5 out of 5 strong recommendation. This is probably the coolest Ultra Magnus I've ever dealt with. I mean, it just, the light up features, the accessories, the gimmicks, it just does so much. You know, it really has a lot going for it. I love the little light up features, the little display thing that we got there. I mean, you've got all sorts of ways to display this. And if you don't like all the bulk here in, you know, robot mode, you can just get rid of this and just have the standard Ultra Magnus looks, which is a nice option. I think the only complaint I really have is the stand. The stand doesn't really, like, I want him to be straight like this, but it just, due to the weight, the stand doesn't really hold it the way I want it to. But that's it. I mean, that's the only complaint I would have is, better stand. Other than that, this is an amazing piece. If you're a fan of Ultra Magnus or IDW or just what Flames Toys does, I think you'll really enjoy this. This is probably my favorite one that I've seen so far. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching. Thanks to Grant for sending this for review, and we'll see you next time.